Welcome back, folks. Dow Industrials right now, they're trading up 346. We have the Nasdaq up 54. S&P's up 19.5. Let's go over to our man, Mr. Jack Gleason from Major League Trading, as we do each and every Thursday at 40 past the hour. Jack Gleason, what's going on, brother?
Morning.
Morning, Jack. How are you?
I'm doing well. You know, we got the Air and Water Show here this weekend in Chicago, and they're practicing. So if you hear a couple of jets rumble while I'm on my screen, just know that they're not scrambling them after anybody who hijacked the plane, but they're practicing for the Air and Water Show. So
that is so cool.
We want to see them in the background, man.
No,
Let's go.
over Lake Michigan, it is gorgeous, man. No, I haven't seen that, but I love that lake, and I can picture how they can fly over it.
That's a cool deal. We have MacDill Air Force Base.
So cool. Oh. Yeah, they block off this section right outside the city. It's called the Playpen in Chicago. Is the area where kind of everybody goes and parks their boats. Okay. And then they block off the section and they bring in, you know, the fighter jets, the bombers, and then they have the one plane. I want to say it's like an F-22. It can hover. It's amazing. Yeah. The heat exhaustion. I mean, they have to put it on full afterburner, and you could be, you know, 500 yards away. And you're feeling the heat of the airplane. They'll buzz the boats. I'm going on my friend's boat. They'll buzz the boats maybe 100 yards into the sky, and they'll come across, and it is probably one of the coolest things that goes down in Chicago, especially if you got a buddy with a boat.
That is awesome.
Don't own a boat, get a friend with one.
That's right. Get out on that water, man.
Hey, have you ever heard of B-52 bomber?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if you've never heard of B-52, folks, you can hear them like 50 miles away coming in, and they're intense, man.
Totally.
It's like oh baby, well, it's coming, man. So market-wise, we get some shots up here.
Yep.
Where do you want to start, Jack? I know we got the
let's start with the S&P 500. So we've come off, and this extension sequence, so it's a high-to-high sequence, is held now going back. I think it began on July 6th. We've never broken the 61.8% retracement of that high-to-high. I'm looking at my S&P chart right now. So we traded that yesterday, and that was the low. So that's where we're going to look for targets. And anytime you have a reaction, so the last time this actually traded was 2 Thursdays ago, and you saw that really big reversal out of the morning. We gapped down and just ripped higher, and that's the best situation you want to see these types of setups trade. You usually have a gap down, sellers at the open, those sellers get trapped. You know, maybe people even begin getting short, longs getting out, and then you have the continuation reversal. We're seeing that follow through today. Obviously, we have an incredible strength in the Dow, up 300 points. S&P, I'm looking up 21 right now. So the higher time frame target that I'm going to be looking for, and usually when these support levels trade, that's when the wind up and the pitch happens, because we've had this multi-week consolidation where we really haven't gone anywhere. We've traded that support. I am expecting a leg breakout above that 28.6375 high to come next week, and us to move up towards the 28.9175 S&P profit targets. So that's what I have for that market. So I just kind of wanted to go over that.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, then I have the
So
Dow.
it's impressive that it held, right? When you're looking at it, right? I can see what you're looking at, man. That's intense. You know, even though it looked like we went south in a large way yesterday, percentage-wise, we really didn't, right? Yeah. Percentage-wise,
we really didn't. And actually, if you where that draw is drawn to, that high of last Tuesday.
Yes.
Now, if you take that draw back to the 2 Wednesdays before that, where we had made that high, the last time we had held that same draw just to a different high, that same percentage drop, that's where we reverse out of the lows. We never completed that profit target. We went back to highs, went down for another test, which happened yesterday. But now, based on this reaction we've had off of it, I think it's going to be one of those situations where it's going to be an aggressive bid. You know, a lot of times we'll get these consolidations, and then it'll be an aggressive bid, and then the bid faded last Wednesday. And then we kind of pulled back into that same sequence. So I'm looking for the aggressive bid to continue. I'm looking for a multi-day rally up into that 28.91 target for the S&P. And then we can go to the Dow chart, and I'll show you that same sequence. The Dow dipped a little further here, but you know, sometimes when they dip a little further, they react a little better, because what ends up happening is there's more people trapped below that demand zone, more sellers down there, stops, whatever it is. and now we have that massive reversal in the Dow. I have two targets based on two different sequences. They both line up, 25,953 and 25,968. So that's where we're going to see the Dow rally to, I think, over the next week or two. Now, we obviously want to be aware of those previous highs up at 25,660 zone. That's always previous highs, always levels to get through. But I really think if we can clear 25,600, that there really won't be much above that, and then we'll begin the continuation sequence and finally get like a healthy breakout, because the last high we had where we got through the prior high was on last Tuesday, Wednesday, and there wasn't much of a continuation. We got back below those highs of the previous Thursday, Friday.
Sure.
So what I'd look for is us to get above those highs and then continue to hold those previous highs as support going on in the future. So I do think we have a bit of a bigger bottom here. I do think we're going to have some harder continuation. I find it interesting that Nasdaq's not getting the oomph that the rest of these markets are. Dow, Dow's up 1.3%, Nasdaq's up barely, just over 0.5%. But yeah, that's what I'm watching there, and that's why I brought up the S&P and the S&P and the Dow, because I think they're going to be some of the stronger markets, and they had that fresh touch of that long sequence. So that's what I have for those markets. And then the last one I got is oil, which is a support level I am anticipating down at 62.85. So I think oil's got a little more room to run. Its path of how it gets down there will probably be taken day to day. But I wanted to bring a level into the chat today where it's far enough out where it could trade by the time I'm on here next. Obviously we got the rig report on Friday. Then next Wednesday we'll have the oil inventory report. I think yesterday was the oil inventory report as well, and oil just got tanked on that. So
yeah, oil made quite a move, man. I mean, it's intriguing that we got plenty of oil.
It was almost $4 to the downside in 24 hours yesterday after that number. Pretty big move, yeah. And where do those numbers, Jack, when we're looking at it, I see the three levels you have kind of up there. Is that the Fibonacci off of this trend from high to high that we're looking at? Where does that?
Yeah, that's the high to high. And if you go back and if you have a fib tool on your chart, I think you guys use Thinkorswim charts or whatever chart you use. That high, which goes back to, I think it was the July of last year. I want to say July. I want to say it's July 31st, but I don't remember.
It's right at the end of July, whatever it is. We're looking at it, yeah.
Yeah. So every time we've actually pulled back into that 50% retracement, there's been a bid. Now the aggressive bid we saw in February was that same draw that reversed, hit profit targets. That most recent low we had in June was that same anchor drawn to that previous high, except we bounced off the 38.2. So we did have a bid off the 38.2 on, I believe it was, let's see, I'm looking at my chart here. It was, I want to say it was like last, I think it was Monday. Monday, we traded the 38% retracement, which was 65.78. And if you go back to the action on Monday, there was like a $2 rally off that into an opposing short sequence. So I do expect there to be some buyers, and you know what, it's going to be just enough to take out those June lows, strike some people out, and higher. So that's what I got for you guys.
Strike some people up. Major League Trading. We're not kidding around here, man. Gotta love it.
Totally.
Folks, you can come over to our website at TFNN. You're gonna see right under Nadex News. Come right over. I'm Mr. Jack Gleason. He's over there writing for Nadex quite a bit. Jack, you have a great one, safe one. We look forward to speaking to you next week.
You too, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Jack.